The game's the game, yeah?
That's a step over.
A fight's a fight. No, don't worry about it's a step over. It's done. What I'm saying now is all bets are off.
Conor has that, and Tony has the task of having to do that with Conor. He has to make sure that he uses that fire and that aggression and that real will to win in the right pattern.
And I'm going for a lot for Conor Benn with the spitefulness and the hatred that he has. And I know when you really dislike someone, it brings something out of you. But you know, I'm looking forward to that fight.
It's a mismatch. It's an entertaining matchup.
Why is it a mismatch?
Because of ability, because of weight classes.
Boxing experts have guessed who will win the Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn fight. Eddie Hearn thinks Benn will come out like a wild animal when the fight starts in April. He knows Benn is smaller, but he believes Benn's hunger, speed, and aggression will make up for it. Hearn says Benn's non-stop attack will make this fight a fast and brutal war.
Can't wait. I mean, look, Eubank's playing a blinder for the promotion of the fight. I mean, a little bit annoying. I mean, unfortunately, if I could fight, I'd want to give him a slap myself, but that's not going to happen. So, Conor's fired up. I mean, honestly, I've never seen someone put themselves through what he is putting himself through in training camp. He's going to be like a caged animal when that bell goes on April 26th. A big disadvantage in size, but he makes up for it in attribute, hunger, youth, tenacity, volatility. And he is in camp with his dad, grafting and dreaming every day of violating Eubank Jr. on April 26th and doing it in spectacular fashion. And I can't wait.
Many boxing experts think this fight is unfair because of the big weight difference. Benn is moving up 2 weight classes to fight Eubank Jr., who has fought at a heavier weight for most of his career. This makes people question whether Benn can handle the size and power at super middleweight. Most believe that weight and size usually decide fights, which could give Eubank Jr. a big advantage.
It's a mismatch. It's an entertaining matchup.
Why is it a mismatch?
Because of ability, because of weight classes. Chris Jr. is a middleweight and a super middleweight. He's naturally a super middleweight. So, he's having to starve himself to come down and, with all the catch weights and all of this stuff, it's a mismatch. He is operated at world level. He's been in with the likes of George Groves and, the list goes on. It's a mismatch in ability and weight class.
Boxing analyst Spencer Finn points out the long history between the Eubank and Benn families. Their fathers had famous fights, and this rivalry makes the upcoming match even more exciting. He says this family feud has caught the public's attention, making it a big talking point. The history behind it adds extra pressure on both fighters to defend their family's legacy.
And the hatred that he has, and I know when you really dislike someone, it brings something out of you. But I'm looking forward to that fight. For the simple fact is, like, that event within itself is fantastic because it's crossed over. Lots of people are talking about it. Everywhere you go, people are talking about it. There is nothing wrong with that. That's absolutely excellent. And plus, I can remember when the two fathers first fought, and the second time is when they fought in October of 93. But when the fathers first fought, when they first went at it, I remember that fight clearly in my head. It was a Sunday night. It was at November 18th, 1990, and it was like, it seemed like the world stopped to watch that fight. And this has drawn something from it because everybody's talking about it. And fair play to both men. They're selling the fight really well, which is genuine. It's not orchestrated. Oh, you're going to do this. No, it's proper. So I'm looking forward to that fight. May the better man win.
Yeah, for sure.
The history of this rivalry makes the fight more exciting, but also puts extra pressure on both fighters to protect their family's name. Conor Benn has openly talked about the weight of his father Nigel Benn's legacy in this feud with the Eubanks. He even joked about why his father left him to continue the rivalry, showing the personal and emotional side of the fight. This honest admission highlights Benn's struggle to balance family history with his own career goals.
It's only right that I do justice for the second fight. It was a draw that he should have won. Ultimately, I'm just, Dad. why have you left your dirty laundry to me, mate? Why have I got to close the show for you? Why have I got to handle your dirty business? You know, I've got to do this for my dad. You know, because he couldn't do it himself.
Brave man, Conor. Brave man.
Former middleweight champion Darren Barker says the jab will be a key weapon in this fight. He believes Conor Benn has a better jab, which could make a big difference. Barker explains that Benn's aggressive style, combined with a strong jab, could throw Eubank Jr. off his game. This analysis suggests that even though Benn is smaller, his skills could still cause serious problems for Eubank Jr.
Important. So yes, attacks to the body going to be paramount. I think the jab crucial. I think out of the two, Conor has the better jab. At times, Eubank Jr.'s jab's been non-existent. We see him starting to use his jab a little bit more under his short time with Roy Jones, but it's a shot that he neglects. So yeah, I think variation, certainly from Conor Benn, is going to be much needed on April 26th.
Obviously, we've seen quite a fiery build-up between the pair. Do you feel like Junior's trying to play up to that, trying to get beneath the skin of Conor Benn and hoping that he just disrupts him and his mentality going through his camp and ultimately leading up to fight night?
Yeah, I think so. That's maturity and experience. That's how. But Conor's naturally fiery. Conor has that bit between his teeth. You know, he's his dad's son. His dad was as fiery as they come, and so was Conor. I think if Chris Eubank Jr. was placid and respectful, I think Conor would still be fiery. But yeah, he's. I would have thought he's won quite a lot of people over Chris Eubank Jr. Although him and his dad have always been Marmite, you either love him or you hate him. I think where he's been so outspoken and he said things a lot of people probably wouldn't have. People have sort of warmed to him, but you know, there's always a goodie and a villain in a lot of these grudge matches. But this one seems to have really a split opinion. You know, they both.
Top trainer Roy Jones Jr., who has worked closely with Chris Eubank Jr., says Eubank has improved a lot. He believes Eubank's better skills, size, and strength could be a big problem for Benn. Jones warns that if Benn's punches don't do enough damage, Eubank could take control of the fight by using his physical advantages and sharper technique.
How do you see that one going?
Very tough fight for Conor. Not saying he can't win it because one big left hook could change anything. But to me, his best chance are to try to land a big shot. If that don't happen, or if he lands it and it don't hurt Chris, then it's going to be pretty rough for him because Chris is definitely an improved fighter. You understand me? And like even the stuff he's doing now, he's gonna continue to get better. But I think when he came down there with me for that year, it improved his foundation. You understand me? So it made him a better fighter. So he's gonna be hard to beat for anybody, especially a guy that's smaller than him. But we saw Liam Smith pull off the upset that one time, so I know that gave Ben much more hope that he could probably do the same. So it's going to be a great fight. Both fighters are great fighters. I love both of them. I think Chris is a little bigger and has the advantage because he's bigger, but it's going to be a great fight.
You know what? A lot of people are talking about it, Roy. You know about cutting weight and whatnot. A lot of people talking about Chris Eubank Jr. now being at 160 and maybe being tight at that weight now, but the rehydration clause, £10, I'm saying, listen, with a £10 rehydration clause in it, that won't affect him at all.
That won't affect him at all, but I really think
this fight isn't just about skill. It's about history, size, and heart. Will Conor Benn's speed and aggression overcome Eubank Jr.'s size and experience? Or will Eubank prove too strong to handle? Let us know your predictions in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more boxing updates.